Hello viewers, this is attorney Naresh Gehi and I'm going to talk about the O visa today. But this time I'm going to make the O visa very simple for you. Why? Because the legalese in law can be very confusing. So the common man tells me, Mr. Gehi, try if possible to speak in layman's terms. So the O visa, I'm going to make sure that I explain it to you in the simplest terms, and excuse me if I don't kind of basically use legal jargon or go through every single requirement of the O visa because the time is limited, but I'll try to hit the highlights of what is looked upon when the consulate officer or when you apply for the O visa before the USCIS. Now, what is the O visa? The first requirement is that you're extraordinary. And what does extraordinary mean? It's not that difficult, believe it or not. You got one great international award. You won the Pulitzer Prize, or you won one major award in the world. You won the Miss World Award, Miss Universe Award. Great, fantastic. Mr. World Award. Great. Think about the O visa. And what you need is a sponsor from the United States. He can show that you are extraordinary and you're going to come to America and you're going to teach people, for example, of how to kind of perform the art. And if you're a boxer, for example, you won this great, boxing championship in Singapore recently, and you were kind of basically in all the newspapers all over the world that basically you had this match and you won the boxing match in Malaysia, Singapore. Great, fantastic, you won the match. Now what? Now you think that you have this ability to come and you want to teach your boxing skills to people in America. What do? Look for someone in America who is in that profession and he can sponsor you as under the O visa category. So see, it's not that difficult. You have this major award. It can be in any field. It can be in business. This can be basically in the arts. It can be in the sciences. It can be in any field. So now you have this great thing now going for you that you won some major awards, and Times of India covered you, the Wall Street Journal covered you, some international newspapers also covered you. You on TV, you become the Hall of Fame. So I tell people to think that you're more towards the Hall of Fame. That's an easy way to remember. And in the sciences, for example, very simple, you have these great publications. You wrote this great publication about AIDS, and you have this great PhD degree. And other than that, you've been speaking at international organizations, even on Zoom, doesn't matter. So you've gone to conferences and you have these great professors, you have this great following from extraordinary people in your field. Now I'm coming to sciences. So I jumped from athletics to sciences, and it can also be in the arts, such as you're this great dancer, great kind of performer, like you're that great well-known break dancer in the world, like Prabhu Deva. Great, Javed Jaffrey, great guys. They have the credentials, they performed everywhere. Think about the O visa. So folks, even if you're this great Bharatanatyam dancer, or even if you're this great kind of, game, nowadays I heard that Kabaddi is played in the UK. So if you're this great Kabaddi player and you're ready to teach Kabaddi, you're this great wrestler I'm talking about, and you won all these wrestling competitions, think about the O visa. What can you do? You can come in. You can train people in America by getting sponsored for the O visa because you are in the newspapers, or you are in the television. Great people are ready to write about you, and you're a member of all these top-notch organizations, such as the World Wrestling Federation. You're a member of that organization. So in your field, you have to be a member of prestigious organizations. You should have publications on your name if possible. And other than that, you should have been a judge of others in that particular field, or you should have commanded a high salary. There are other factors, or you should have received a great international award or a national award. So these are some of the factors which are considered. Now there's something else for people from the movie business, especially from motion pictures. If you're in the motion picture industry and you're this well-known kind of basically producer who's internationally known, or if you're like exactly a well-known Steven Spielberg in your country, that is excellent too. Because the bottom line is that you have this great film going on and you became famous internationally and you went for the French Film Award, you went for a different film award. Think about the O visa. And what do you need to do? Look for an organization in the US that can be an entertainment company, that can be a production company. Even if he's a small producer, and if you have a game plan in mind, things can happen for you. This is one category which is not spoken about a lot, because even if you are a book writer and for example, you won the Pulitzer Prize, of course, think about the O visa category. People are very much looking into the H-1B all the time, but remember, this is a fantastic option for brilliant people. You're that great IIT grad. Look at that. You already have this brilliance in you. You're from Bajaj, and you have this great salary, and you work for this big company. You made it big and big and big. You are a dynamic entrepreneur, and your name was in the top newspapers, and the world is writing about you. Folks, think about the O visa. Now, why do I like the O visa? Because there's no quota over here. The good thing is that you find a sponsor, and they do not even have to pay you the H-1B visa salary. Your salary can be $30,000. No big deal, because the O visa is different than the H-1B. The other good news about the O visa is that if you are on a J-1 visa in America, and if you're subjected to the 2-year residency requirement, guess what? I know that you cannot transfer that visa to an H-1B or to an L-1 visa. But the good news is that a J visa holder can transfer his visa by leaving the country and coming on an O visa, and you can come back to America immediately. So remember, the time you think that I'm extraordinary in movies, in performances, in arts, in boxing, in wrestling, in sports, or in any field, or even if you're a writer, think about this category, deep dive into it, and guess what? You'll be in the United States of America. If you are in America, you may be able to change your status in the US if you're from India.